Hey everybody, and welcome to another lecture with Coding with Roby. Today we are going to go over setting up a virtual environment for your machine. A virtual environment is a Python environment that is isolated from other Python environments. Okay, but what does that really mean? One of the main reasons to use a virtual environment is to set up dependencies for the specific project that other projects may not need. For example, this upcoming Fast API project is going to need Fast API and other tools as dependencies for this project. If you have other Python projects on your machine that doesn't need these dependencies, why not isolate this specific project that does? It's always a good rule of thumb to isolate and silo projects when possible so other projects don't get corrupted with unneeded dependencies. Now, a virtual environment is completely optional, and you do not need a virtual environment on your machine to properly run Fast API. So if you do not want a virtual machine, feel free just to download the pip right onto the machine itself and completely ignore the virtual environments. So how are we going to install these dependencies? Well, first we're going to use pip. Pip is the Python package manager. Pip is used to install and update packages and dependencies for your project. With that, we will make sure you have the latest version of pip installed. To check your pip version on your Mac OS, use python 3-m pip -- version to see what pip version you have currently installed, and on a Windows OS, use python -m pip -- version. The version you get back may or may not be the same as mine, but as long as you have Python 3 installed, everything should work perfectly. So this brings us to the question of how will we be setting up the virtual environment? Well, first, I already created a brand new folder and directory called Fast API. Within my Fast API folder is where I will be starting the next lecture in creating the Fast API application. Make sure you already have a folder created on your personal computer. Then, within our pip, we will be checking what dependencies we already have installed on our machine. If we do not have VirtualENV, which is the dependency for creating a virtual environment, then we will install it. Once we get the VirtualENV, we will create a new environment for our Fast API specific application. We will activate our Fast API ENV. And lastly, we will install Fast API. Now this may seem like a lot, but we will go through all of this step by step. Well, let's jump into the next lecture and create ourselves a virtual environment.